The new Attorney General is warning Congress this morning American lives are at risk if they do not extend a law letting the government collect cell phone data. The Senate is expected to vote on that later today. Only on CBS This Morning, Loretta Lynch sits down with Norah O'Donnell for her first interview in office. Norah is in Washington. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Miss you guys in New York, but we spent the day and with Attorney General Lynch. In fact, we spent an hour with her at the Department of Justice talking with her, and she expressed serious concerns about losing some surveillance powers that are now protected by the Patriot Act. It is a controversial law because it allows the government to collect data on almost every phone call in the U.S., and it was recently ruled illegal by a top federal judge. Why does the government need that much power?
I think people view that as a kind of power, and I'm hoping that the more we have discussion on this point, the more clarity we can provide to the American people about exactly what we do with that data, what's called metadata. It's information about telephone calls. It's not the content, it's not what's being said, it's not the voices that are there.
But if that law expires on June 1st, and you don't have the ability to collect that metadata, information on every phone call in the United States, what's your biggest fear?
Well, our biggest fear is that we will lose important eyes on people who have made it clear that their mission is to harm American people here and abroad.
Do you think it makes America less safe?
I think that we run the risk of essentially being less safe. I think that we lose important tools. I think that we lose the ability to intercept these communications, which have proven very important in cases that we have built in the past. And I'm very concerned that the American people will be unprotected if this law expires.
You know, and this is an area where Lynch has a lot of experience. She's a former top U.S. attorney from New York whose office has tried more terrorism cases since the 9/11 attacks than any other office in the country. She told me she's ready to take on critics who say the law is too invasive, but those critics are growing in number in both Congress and the courts. The right of the government to collect sweeping amounts of data on Americans is being challenged. So this is a big issue. And Charlie, she told me about that and much more, including how she had to brief the president on the riots in Baltimore less than 6 hours after being sworn into office, and we'll have more of the interview in the next hour.
Norah O'Donnell advancing the story in Washington. Thanks, Norah.